The ocean holds no memory of the living, but it remembers the sound of a name, whispered in the dark. After days beneath the waves, the crew of Mariana-7 begins to hear something. A sound not recorded by instruments. A voice not meant for human ears. And as the silence deepens, one of them begins to listen too closely. You're listening to SpookyShade, where the deep speaks, and we listen. If you're drawn to horror born from darkness, isolation, and ancient things best left untouched, you're in the right place. Subscribe now, and follow us into the black. Mariana-7, The Abyss Wakes. Chapter 2, Whispers from the Black. The crew awoke to silence. Not the familiar silence of sleep, but a suffocating, unnatural stillness. The kind that presses in on your ears, as if the world itself is holding its breath. It was Petra who noticed it first. She sat upright in her bunk, heart pounding, unsure of what had awakened her. No alarm. No voice over the intercom. Just something. She swung her legs down and walked barefoot through the dim corridor toward the observation deck. The red emergency lights pulsed every 3 seconds. Flash, 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 each beat casting brief shadows along the corridor walls. She paused at the viewport. Nothing outside. Just blackness. She leaned closer. Then her breath caught. There, against the reinforced glass, barely illuminated by the emergency glow from inside the vessel, was a smudge. Not a crack. Not a scratch. A handprint. Wet. Long-fingered. Inhuman. She stumbled back, eyes wide. Evelyn. Mason. Someone get up here. Minutes later, the senior crew gathered in the observation bay. It's condensation, Reyes said, trying to keep his voice steady. Nothing more. Then why is it shaped like that? Petra snapped, pointing. And why is it on the outside? The handprint was still there, slowly fading, like it had been made in mist. But they were nearly 11,000 meters below the surface. Nothing should be able to touch the vessel at this depth. Mason stood motionless, staring at the window. We need to check the bow cam again. Watanabe was already pulling up the footage. Bow cam feed intact. No motion detected in the last 90 minutes. No thermal anomalies either, Reyes added. Whatever it was, it left no heat signature. Of course it didn't, Petra muttered. Because it's not supposed to exist. At 9:42, the passive sonar array began to pick up something strange. Faint clicks. Irregular pulses. Like static, but patterned, structured. It's not geological, Petra said, eyes locked on the screen. This is language. Or communication. Evelyn leaned over her shoulder. It's repeating? Every 47 minutes, Petra whispered. Exactly. Same pulse length as the original transmission 7. Can you triangulate it? Working on it. But before she could finish, another sound broke through the speakers. Whispers. Not clear words. Not even language. But something that carried intention. Malice, even. The crew stiffened as it played on loop. That's interference, Reyes said, his voice brittle. No, it's not, Evelyn whispered. Mason crossed his arms. You've heard this before, haven't you? She didn't answer. Instead, she stepped closer to the intercom. Seal off the engine room and all maintenance hatches. Run full diagnostics on all internal systems. And shut down external floodlights. But why? Petra began. Because we're being watched, Evelyn said. And I don't want to see what's looking back. That night, the nightmares began. Petra dreamt of shapes moving outside her window, pale limbs brushing the glass. She couldn't move, couldn't scream, just watch as they multiplied, filling the black with twisted faces and unblinking eyes. Watanabe woke up, gasping, blood dripping from his nose. He claimed he heard chanting in his sleep, deep and guttural, echoing through the walls of the ship. Even Mason, hardened and skeptical, said nothing the next morning. But the tremor in his hand as he reached for his weapon said enough. At 3:17, a power fluctuation triggered a cascade failure. The lights went out. The backup generators struggled for 30 seconds, an eternity in total darkness, before low emergency lighting bathed the vessel in blood-red glow. Evelyn was already in the control room. All systems failing. External cameras offline. Interior pressure holding, for now. Then Petra's voice crackled over the intercom. Dr. Hart, you need to see this. Cargo Bay 3. When Evelyn arrived, half the crew was already there, huddled around a metal container, sealed and unmarked. I didn't authorize any storage in this bay, Evelyn said. We didn't bring this, Mason muttered. Petra pointed. It's covered in growth. Look, the metal box, about the size of a small coffin, was slick with strange organic material. Filaments of black algae clung to its sides. A faint greenish bioluminescence pulsed beneath the grime. Mason stepped closer, running a scanner along the surface. No radiation. No heat. But it's vibrating. Reyes backed away. This wasn't here yesterday. We checked every compartment. Suddenly, a loud clang echoed from inside the box. Everyone froze. Another. And another. Like something knocking. From within. Evelyn stepped forward. No one touches it. No one opens it. But it was already too late. There was a small click. The latch had moved on its own. The box was unlocking.